Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday for another episode of Guided by Spirit. I am your host, Richard LaRocco, with my amazing co-host, Miss Pauline Raffaella. How you doing, Pauline?
Hi, Richard. I'm doing okay. A little foggy with maybe some seasonal allergy, little September ragweed. Other than that, I'm doing well. How about you?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I got this head thing going on. I don't know what it is. I feel like my head's in a pressure, like a vice grip.
Yeah.
I know I woke up this morning and it was 43 degrees here and very crisp and windy. So probably felt
Mhm.
like in the 30s, but I love it. I love
Yes.
it. It's fall is my favorite time of year. I
Mine,
love it.
t- mine too. I do leave some of the windows open just a bit to actually give the room a bit of a chill because I love being under like heavy covers.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
comforters.
Yes.
Comforters. One of the,
Layers. Yep. Layers of comforters.
oh my gosh, comforters are like God's little gifts.
They they are. It's that time, and time is passing so quickly.
Yes.
It
Well, it's funny you say that because the timelines have shifted. I just saw something the other day. It actually increased by 2,000 years, we fast forwarded. So,
I
you
saw
know,
that.
they're talking about some two moons, and who knows? That's another topic,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
which is shifting to new consciousness, new beginning, and we'll cover all of that. But we have a lot to talk about. In universally speaking, let's dive in. Let's talk about some of this because we had something major happen yesterday, this morning. So let's dive into universally speaking. Let's roll up our sleeves and lean into it. What do you say?
Okay. So we're rolling up the sleeves. Okay. And so yes, look, the eclipses are over, but we are in the 3 to 6 month time period of the unfolding of these eclipses. And remember what I said several weeks ago about the Pisces lunar eclipse. In my view, this things are going to be revealed. Things are going to be revealed in your own life. You're going to begin to see things in your own life. I have several clients who came to me the other day and said, I've just really begun to see this about myself. And I'm like, well, there's the Pisces lunar eclipse. So, but it's of course the eclipse is going to be bigger than that. It is going to be impactful in this country and in the world. What is going to be revealed? What has been hidden is going to be revealed. And that is going to take some courage for people to see and admit, but it's just going to come out, and it will. And so the Pisces hidden agendas and the delusion are going to be stripped away. And so we're in that next 3 to 6 months, we're still there. And then, of course, the scales of justice, the Libra energy, the balancing energy, the relationship energy, right? Again, the scales of justice are going to prevail. The balance of your life in communion with God, earth, people, animals, food, everything, you name it, your relationship with that is all going to be on the forefront of how we move forward.
Love that. I love that. There's a good thing we're past a lot of what we went through in the previous month. So let's just kind of create and focus the energy for the next up and coming months. But I always love everything that you mentioned about what's going on energetically really coincides, at least in my life, you know?
For many people, they can't believe it. Many people. And it's true because I see the connection between what happens with the planets and the eclipses, and then what's happening even in my own life and the lives of my clients. It all matches. It's like a puzzle, and all the pieces fall right into the puzzle. It all fits. And then there is something else. There is the Pluto and Capricorn, which which I'm going to make a connection here to the storm. okay, to Milton. And we know that Capricorn, is the structure. Capricorn is like corporate structure, and it gives structure to everything. And we need structure. But the old Piscean structure has to break down. Okay, the old ways of control and things have to break down. We need a freer, a higher level structure. Okay, a higher consciousness structure. All right, not an anything goes structure. And so this hurricane came in on the very last days of Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. Tomorrow, Friday, October 11th, Pluto goes direct. It comes out of the retrograde in Capricorn, and it begins to move direct. Now, this is going to be a huge relief for Capricorns and Cancers, or if you've got Capricorn rising or moon, this is going to feel like a huge weight has lifted. All right. And so that starts tomorrow, and then Capricorn stays, Pluto stays in Capricorn, because this is all about death and transformation. That's what this is about, spiritually, literally in some cases, the personal transformation, the transformation of a country. And when Pluto hits November 19th, it moves into Aquarius. And when that happens, we're going to be in a lighter energy. Aquarius is the energy of equality, love, and brotherly love and all of that. And that's going to be good. But again, we still need that energy of Aquarius, Pluto and Aquarius, to be rational, to be logical. It can't be in anything goes. It still has to be within the order and the laws of the universe.
So what do we do what should we prepare for? What should we release, let go of, manifest, create, set intention with for this Pluto in Capricorn?
Well, it's leaving Capricorn. It's leaving. The retrograde is stopping tomorrow. Thank God. Thank God. Okay, so that gets us out of the looking at the darkness, looking at the darkness, looking at the darkness. It gets us out of that, and we get to start to move forward a little bit. So when you take that and you combine it with the Pisces eclipse and the Libra eclipse, you ask yourself, what do I need to see that doesn't serve me moving forward? What do I need to release? How do I balance my life? And what new structures do I need to create for myself? And those could be boundaries, or it could just be goals, right? It could be goals. It could be where you're moving to. It could be change of job, okay, or change of how you identify with yourself, or the work you do. So all of that will be happening, and that's what you're going to be looking at, because by the time Pluto's in Aquarius, the energy around the country and the world, it begins to shift. So we have to prepare for it by looking inward, letting go. What new structures do you want to create for yourself? And when I say structures, I mean, what are the things that you want in your life? Do you want marriage? Do you want a committed relationship? Do you want to buy a home? Do you want to just keep renting? What structures do you want? Do you want a family? What do you want?
It is the $1,000,000 question. What do people want? And I find a lot of times they don't, and we talked about this last week, is they don't ask because they have a lot of issues asking and then receiving. So put it out there. Now's the time to create. Now's the time to let it go. Let it go. Like the movie Frozen, Elsa, let it go. Release it. If it doesn't serve you, let it go. So,
yeah, because there is a restructuring happening. There is. I mean, I can feel it. It's internal. It hasn't presented itself completely to me yet, although some of it has, okay, of some of the incoming energies. You have just made a slight little restructuring, and congratulations to you on that. All right. Maybe you want to share with that.
Absolutely. So one of the things I really found was, spending what's going to be 16 years as a medium doing this work has been just absolutely amazing. But one of the things I realized is everybody I sit with needs so much healing. People walk around and they have so much that holds them back. And I realized through an organic approach and really diving into the core root of everything, what they're going through, working them, helping them go through blocks and obstacles that either they present or they've traumas have instilled in them. I've kind of shifted my business just a little to hurting to healing, coaching. And what this is going to be more transformational healing and helping people. I already do it almost every day. I sit with clients that I work with. I have readings that I do, classes I teach. I've been doing this for years, helping people, and the results are absolutely amazing. And one of the things is when people realize that what didn't work for them can now work, they have a new lease on life. They start really enjoying, they start creating who they want to be, and then they get in touch and reconnected with who they actually were, who their soul was when it came into this body, not what the trauma has presented to the world. So I'm super excited. There's going to be a lot of classes going up. Really diving into this because it's something I'm passionate about. I lived it. I experience it every day. I'm going to be teaching it. There's going to be a lot of free classes and talks on this. I'm just super excited about this. This is just, people don't realize how much help they need. And we're going to do it together because I'm in it, you're in it, and it's going to be fun. So I'm super excited. It's Hurting to Healing coaching. You can go to my website. It's totally redid. I redid it. It's uploaded. Sorry, head cold, kind of, but I'm super excited for this. This is going to be amazing. I already do it. Just expanding the amount of healing and the ripple effect that's going out there to the world.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And of course, it's not a coincidence that your work is shifting a little bit. My work is probably going to shift a little bit, but not too much. But there's a new and very, very powerful divine feminine frequencies coming in, which I have already started to use. And I've used them in my sessions and with myself. And holy cow, are these things powerful. But there's more on that later. But these are just beginning shifts. But more and more people with these eclipses, especially this Pisces eclipse that happened in September, they're going to be opening up. And we'll call their inner darkness, all right, or their traumas, or what's locked up in the subconscious is going to be coming up to the conscious, whether they want it or not. And people are going to need guidance. They're going to need help on how to heal, not just understand. Okay, not just, understand, oh, this is happening. Okay, well, how do I heal it? And that's where the deeper work comes in. And just to that point, next week, and I know I'm saying this a bit prematurely, but next week we have an incredible hypnotist coming on who we are going to talk so much about shadow and what the shadow aspect of the human means and how it is surfacing more and more, and how the question people ask is, well, how do I heal this? Can I even get rid of this? Can I heal this? And if I can, how? So that's going to be very big on the forefront of where we're headed. Humanity needs to heal.
And for people that don't realize, shadow work are our traumas and experiences that we carry with us that hide when we least expect it. Kind of, you're walking the shadows behind you. It always follows you in all aspects. And I come across a lot of people, no, I've done shadow work, yet they're triggered left and right. So again, just because you say you're doing some healing, what are you really doing? You know, so I'm excited. Maybe she can offer a lot of techniques to our audience because, you know, healing is kind of like a tumor. If you don't get it from where it started, where it was created, it will never go away. It will actually just grow and fester and almost metastasize into all aspects of your life, the mental, emotional, physical body. Because again, like Louise Hay, what we go through on an emotional and mental level can manifest into the physical.
Right,
Um,
right.
so I'm super excited for this. Anything that offers healing and techniques and kind of, you know, information to our audience, I'm so about because I think this is going to be the new shift. We got to prepare and release and let go and start living our lives, start having fun, you
Yeah.
know?
And in some ways, this is the justice, right? When we give ourselves the ability to heal, or we give ourselves the gift to get some healing, justice is done, right? Justice happens for us personally in so many ways that sometimes we can't even see. And even if we have a trauma with someone and we heal our own piece, there's a healing of justice that happens on the higher planes of consciousness, okay? Way up there on the ethereal planes. So we all want justice. And Libra also represents justice lawsuits. So we have been seeing a lot of lawsuits, in this country. And so I do expect in 3 to 6 months, we're going to see some justice, all right, for within those lawsuits. So this is all good. This is all moving forward. And so be who you want to be. You get the healing, the energy, you're supported, and there's
Yes.
more and more people now who are able to help you with that healing.
I love it. I love it. So we wanted to talk about today the topic, the power of unity. Um, let's kind of dive into this because, you know, I know, Pauline, you said you kind of mentioned like, let's talk about this power of unity and, you know, being together and collective kind of what did you mean? What do you want to talk about? Let's kind of bring it out there.
Yeah. Well, we know unity consciousness, right? Oneness.
Mhm.
It's a consciousness knowing that we all come from the same source. This is way beyond ego, that we all come from the same source and we are all equal. And anything, and I wrote about this in my book. I didn't pull out the page, but I said anything or anyone that usurps your power or pulls you out of your unity consciousness and your oneness with all of life is something you need to get rid of. All right, it's something that you need to look at because we are affected by a lot of external circumstances, a lot of external energies. And so we need to be able to stay in the center of our light. And if everyone can stay in the center of our light, we're unified. We're unified, and we need unity consciousness to build spiritual or soul power. And unity consciousness with, we'll call it soul power, is what transforms the world. I've written, this is the whole premise of my book. Okay. And so this is so important. Now, we had the hurricane and healers from all over, people just came all from all over, formed groups. I formed a group. We were praying every night. We were meditating together every night. We were using creative visualization to try to send light to the storm. We were protecting the land and trying to protect the people in any way we can. People came together all over and prayed. Not one person talked about the color of your skin, your political background, no one, that's out. That's not included in unity consciousness. And so we need to get to that place of higher level of consciousness where we understand we are all one.
I think that's a hard thing and a concept for people. I think that we strive for this. And at times of adversity, I think we show glimpses of what could be, you know,
Agree. Uh-huh.
like we all, it's funny. We all want to be told what to do, but nobody wants to be told what to do. We all know we need to come together, but really we kind of pick a side and we pick a fence and we kind of stand on this side, that side, and until something big happens, like a natural disaster, a mass shooting, a historic hurricane, things like that. All of a sudden, now we come together for a cause. So do you find that people can come together because they choose to, or do they need a cause or a carrot to dangle in order to be kind and be one? What do
Oh,
you think?
that's an interesting question. Well, I think so much is so much of, well, why things happen or why people come together, because at the soul level we are all unified. And there is a deep yearning to remember that unity. And so when we fall back into the 3D world, then we become separated. But when a disaster happens, we forget about all those stupid ego things, all right? And we come together as a soul collective because we genuinely care. We genuinely care about each other. And because we are all one, we can feel the pain of someone else. We absolutely can. And when we feel the pain of someone else, the soul wants to help. The soul wants to heal and help that other soul. It's part of our higher purpose here on earth, is to contribute, right? Is to remember that. I believe from my experiences, everything is meant to bring us back to oneness, back to unity, but we have to be unified within ourselves.
That's a great point because one of the things too is that, if you look on a cellular level, we are all we do care about one another.
Mhm.
Okay. Think about this. What does namaste mean? The God in me salutes the God in you. The soul in me salutes the soul in you, and a lot of words after that, right? But it's all about me connecting to you, honoring you. You know, in Native American traditions, the Lakota, they would talk about, they had a saying very similar. And we're talking that goes back hundreds and thousands of years.
Mhm.
It was Mutaqua saying, I am you, you are me. We're all one.
Right.
The Mayans had a saying, and I learned this from my teacher that goes back way back when, thousands, la kek a la kien, which means is, we are all one. We're all universal. We're all from the same, which is the earth. And it's powerful stuff. But society and everybody says, no, you have to choose a side. You have to think this way. It's about me. And it's not. Look at two babies, two little kids, toddlers playing. They see nothing but energy,
Right.
right?
Well, because they're pure, because they're still in their unified consciousness.
Yes, kind of like animals. When I do readings, people say, is my little white poodle Snowball okay? And I'm saying to myself, yes. Well, how do you know? I said, because they're pure forms of light. Animals are pure forms of light, and we
Yeah,
are all pure forms of light. We've just been polluted, dimmed,
right.
our light bulb's been cracked.
Yeah. We see the dog licking the chicken, right? Or
Yeah.
cuddling the duck. And so, yes, at the soul level we are. And so that's part of the human journey, is to remember that. And as much as we can intellectualize it and talk about it, the journey to unification is why we're here. It's a remembrance of who and what the soul is. And that's a journey. And the ego is always going to get in the way. Okay, the traumas and the sorrows, and it's always going to get in the way, and we just have to work. We just work through it and be open-minded. Be open-minded. Like I
So
always, go ahead.
what are a couple ways we can kind of start changing our mindset to start embracing this, even if people don't see what we see.
Okay. Well, I think one of the obvious things is, and this is not new. You know, we can agree to disagree. That, I mean, that's number one, right? You don't have to be right. You don't have to force anything down anybody's throat. We can agree to disagree and let it be. But still recognize that where there's disagreement, it's personality, it's not soul. So,
Yes, it's not
right.
personal.
It's not personal. So
No,
yeah,
and
that's
that's a big thing, the Don Miguel Ruiz, don't take things personal, the four agreements.
right. Exactly. Exactly. And so, because we all are going to see things a little bit differently at times, and that's okay. And I think, and I do consider myself a fairly open-minded person. If I have a different opinion or a different thought, I will take in that other person's thought. I'll say, I wonder, why, tell me why you see it that way. Maybe there's something in there, that there's a golden nugget in there for me to learn, for me to shift within myself. And so if we can't have those kinds of conversations, then we lose the golden nuggets, okay, that we can potentially strive to expand our mind and our consciousness with. So allow the conversations to happen and be open-minded. You don't need to win. Just, just speak the differences and be open to another person's view. You don't have to agree with it, but just be open. So those are just a couple of ways, right, that we get the communication going and the consciousness expanding.
And I think it's really important we talk about this. And I wore my human and all different color kind of hoodie today, that I got from Humanities Team on the internet. You can get really cool unity, bringing things together. It's a great cause. Humanity Team. So I love my human hoodie. It's super soft anyway. There's so much divide going on. We have political, we have the kind of what's going on in the Middle East, we have things going on Russia, Ukraine, we have things here that is going on. We have this storm that literally, I have family. One was in the wake of the storm, that through Sarasota, Tampa. I have a, father in Miami. Everybody was impacted on some level. And, first of all, sending every much, much healing, comforting prayers to everyone in Florida. If you have a loved one, please check on them. If you can't get through, a lot of times the cellular service during a hurricane, I've been through many. I was through Hurricane Andrew. I lived in Fort Lauderdale for 20 some years. I had Wilma, which was a Category 5, destroyed townhouse I was in, and I get
Wow.
it. So, one of the things people don't realize, the one thing you crave going through a hurricane after, say, day 10 is ice. You take for granted a cold drink. That was the best thing in the world.
Wow.
Um, and then you run out of cash because there's no electronics anywhere.
Right.
So, yeah, it's
Right.
it's pretty it's pretty humbling, when you go through storms like this. So any support that you can give through a local charity, the Red Cross, foundations, hospitals there, please do so. Also, the pet rescue, local pet rescues. I saw a picture on social media. It was absolutely heart-wrenching. It was a dog chained to a field as the storm was coming. Like, who does this, right?
I I saw that, and we have to pray for these people, because what level of consciousness would that be? Bring the dog to a shelter or bring it to some place, but leaving it like that.
Consciousness. Let's talk about karma. Karma. The karma is going to be bad on that. Just saying, whatever the circumstance. So, at times it doesn't have to be a major catastrophe or experience that brings us together. Start with the relationship with yourself, okay? And that's where it really starts, the ground zero, right? It starts with yourself, taking some time to do some healing, appreciate yourself, be kind to yourself, be mindful, self-care, start to embrace love, because if you don't love you, you're not going to love anybody. I have friends and family that have a lot of anger in their
Mhm.
hearts, you know,
Mhm.
being totally transparent. My dad's like that. He is just not a nice guy whatsoever. And I'm like, why are you yelling at people? And he's just
Mhm.
like, I'm tired, I'm sick, and it's anger and that venom, and it's so toxic. So start with you, start the purge within you, the shift within you. And then once you start going, one of the best ways to not take things personal, because it's hard. It really is hard, Pauline. You know this, right? You know,
Mhm.
you're out and you're in Long Island, and it's hard when people don't agree with you or say things that kind of like are really mean. Just know everybody operates at their own level of awareness. Not everybody sees the way you do, and that's okay if they don't. You could look past that. Remember, everybody operates at their own level of awareness. Because you're up here doesn't mean, they're going to be at the same spot. So find some grace with that. Find
Yeah.
grace with.
Well, I think that what we need, if we're talking about unity consciousness, and something that I said before, is first you have to be unified within yourself. And to be unified within yourself, there's an acceptance of this magnificent soul that you have, and then there's this shadow self that you have that needs healing. And I personally, you need to be connected to a higher power. If you're trying to live your human life here all by yourself at the human level, you're going to struggle. And look, I use the word God. I'm not afraid to use the word God. I'm not ashamed to use the word God. I do. I don't see that in a religious, political sense. I see God as pure essence of our Creator. And we have to be connected to something higher. And that helps us maintain a level of unity within us. And that level of unity within us brings a little more of a neutrality, less of a need to be right, and just an acceptance. If somebody wants to say something critically toward me, I mean, years ago I would be horribly hurt. I would be. Now I'm like, oh, okay. I'm kind of like, I'll say I'm semi-immune to it, because I'm not taking it personally, because there's a wholeness within me that comes from my source, that comes from my creator that I have. And I think that is very important.
It's important. So again, unity, it's really, coming together, banding together, seeing, you don't have to always agree, but you can start to learn that, we're all in this, you or I, we're the brother and sister in all of this. It takes a village, so
Yeah.
like with the hurricane, sending that energy, which was supposed to be a category 5 and double in size, and landed at a category 3, which is still very, very, very devastating. Um,
Right.
but
What
I
what
mean,
what what
it's
if
powerful.
what if the unity of people coming together in prayer and meditation and sending energy to that actually was part of the reason? We can't scientifically prove it. Some of us don't need scientific proof. But what if the unity between people and genuine concern actually impacted that storm to reduce down to a category 3 and reduce the winds from like 165 to like 120?
Course. Or let's take that even a step further. How about, even if the winds did go down to 120 after the storm, everybody banded together to help one another?
Right. And we've seen this in catastrophes before. Look, we saw it, probably one of the biggest times we saw it as in 9/11. All right. I think the problem is sometimes humans become complacent and they forget, and they go into survival mode, and then it becomes about me, me, me. and they forget about this unity consciousness. And so it's a journey. It's a journey. And that you have to stay on it with dedication. And it's all about becoming unified within yourself. And then you can be unified with others. And saying that, that doesn't mean if you're not aligned with someone that you should be friends with them anyway. Or if you're not aligned with someone, you're not aligned with someone. At the soul level, we're unified. Just let it be. You don't have to be in the company or maintain friendships that just don't work for you. That doesn't mean you're not unified, because unity has everything to do with the recognition and understanding that we are all one, coming from the same source, all on this journey together, living through hell at times.
Yeah, no, I agree. So any way that you can come together and show support for people in Florida or anybody, even neighbors needing hands, working in the community, or when somebody cuts you off, find a little grace.
Eh,
Find a little grace. I
Yes,
struggle.
oh,
I
you
struggle with it. I'm human. I struggle. I
and,
struggle.
yes, yes. And sometimes we can get frustrated. And a lot of times I go to my mantra. I'm like, okay, whatever. Okay, whatever. I'm not even going to step outside that zone. I'm going to stay in my whatever and stay in my lane.
Yep, yep, yep. The God in me finds a hard way to find the God in them. But I do, the Long Islander comes out.
I think we
The
just have
long,
to keep going. We have to recognize when we fall short, and it's okay, right? It's human, it's natural. But
it's
then
human.
yes, but then to collect ourselves and say, you know what, maybe next time I'm going to try and do better. So,
Yes.
so the unity consciousness, the first and foremost thing really is to remember that we all come from the same source. And that doesn't mean you have to love them. That doesn't mean you have to like them. Just at least remember we are all from the same source. And like you said, everybody has different levels of trauma, which make them behave in certain ways or not. So if we can remember that, we can hold a vision of all of us together in the higher realms as a beautiful white crystalline soul down here trying to figure out this earth life.
Well, we have to coexist. And again, you also don't know. That's why I say everybody operates at their own level of awareness, because you don't know what somebody went through. And
Mhm.
again, that shouldn't be a you problem, but we have to be understanding. And I think that's a big thing. And at the end of the day, kind of like the shirt, even though it's many colors of brown, at the end of the day, we all bleed red and we all need to come together and
Yes.
and appreciate one another. We don't have to
Yeah.
we don't have to be best friends, but we have to have a mutual understanding.
And
And
be
I think that's big.
yes. Yeah, and try as best you can to be compassionate, because compassion creates unity, and compassion also creates miracles. I wrote that in my book. But if you have compassion or understanding, like you say, perhaps you can get to that unified place. And just keep it as like a side mantra in your head, right? Just keep it there and keep it as a remembrance, even when life is showing you something else, or negative things are happening. Just keep it that we're all unified. It helps. It helps. We're never going to be perfect at it, but it helps.
Absolutely. So next week we have hypnotherapists coming in. We're going to be diving into really doing a deep dive into doing the shadow work, doing healing of traumas, everything we kind of talked about. We're going to talk about. So Pauline, what do you have going on? Does anybody need to know? We have events. What you got going on?
Oh boy. Well, yes, I have Soul Cave events. They're all booked. They're all booked for October and early December. I don't have any new offerings at the moment, although they are coming. There's the Power of Self-Love forthcoming. There's going to be a lot of new things coming down the pike in 2025 on the Mary Magdalene frequencies. And so the Divine Feminine, which has graced me, and I'm honored that this is being given to me by the universe. So, but if you're interested in working with me, just reach out through my website, paulinerafaela.com. I book out and booking out into December. I love my clients. They are loyal, they are faithful, but the key is they are transforming. And
Yes.
that's what we want. And there's so much joy in that.
I love it. I love it. And I can't wait to hear more about the Mary Magdalene vibration. I love that.
Unbelievable. Blows Reiki away. That's all I'm
Wow.
going to say for now.
Got it. Got it. Love it. God, my lighting is horrible. The sun is coming in. It's peaking. I feel good for having that sun in, but man, does it make you look bad. Anyway, um, woo. So if you
No.
wanted to do a deep dive to try to kind of work through what we were talking about and kind of start what's called shadow work, we do have, it's called Love Your Shadow Self. You can find it on Amazon, Hurting to Healing Publications. It is a prompted journal. It tells you what to do, tells you how to do it. So if you want to start the work, this is a great way to do it. It's called Coming to Your Own Rescue, right? Very simple. Also, check out hurtingtohealingcoaching.com or richardlarocco.com. Goes to the same place. Check out the new offerings. Like I said, I'm super excited. Probably over the weekend, I'm going to be uploading a lot of really great events via Zoom. You can participate on. There's big stuff coming. I'm telling you, this is it. We're going to roll into 2025 like gangbusters, all healed versions of ourselves, just kind of really ready to reclaim our authenticity, our voice. We're going to be empaths who are going to empower themselves. If you want to hop on board, check it out. We got a lot coming up. So start doing the work. Invest in yourself, because let me tell you, it will open a world for you. It did for me. I know it's did it for Pauline. Her book, The Little Blue Room, you can find it on Amazon. This is big stuff, people. The shift is happening. Hop on board and let's kind of start creating what we want in this world, not what we've always had. All right, everyone, see you next week with our amazing guest. Cannot wait. Everyone, have a great day. Much love.
Much love, everybody.